And I'm delighted to welcome the 1997 world champion, Ken Doherty. Ken, first of all, how are you doing?
Very well, thanks, Mark. Yeah, really enjoying the World Championship so far.
It must be very different for you, though, being down in London. Real shame you're not here at the Crucible.
I know, yeah, we missed it terrible. You know, we missed miss everything about it. You know, it's not the same down in Stockley Park, but and particularly with no crowds, of course, over the last so many days. But great news that the crowds are going to be in for the final. But I think all the lads, Dennis, JP, Steve, and Stephen Hendry and myself, we all miss being up around the Crucible and the atmosphere and everything that it brings to the city, the World Championship. It's been completely different this year. But look, we're just so delighted that it's going ahead, and we've seen some great snooker and some great stories along the way.
Ken, we've got a pat on the back, World Snooker, the Crucible, the players, Eurosport, BBC as well, which you're part of as well. We've got to pat everyone on the back, just getting this tournament on. Yeah,
absolutely, because for a good long while, we thought it was never going to happen. But thankfully, they've done a wonderful job, World Snooker, WSL, of course, and then the powers that be as well, to get everything organised. And even you guys, everybody at Betfred as well, to make this happen. And we're so glad that, at least it's on our TV screens, people at home who are big fans, not only in, Ireland, England and Europe, but also around the rest of the world, they'll be watching it. And they'll be watching it very, very closely to see what's going to pan out over the next couple of days.
Ken, you're at Stockley Park. I had a room. You've still managed to get on the golf course, though.
Oh, yes. We were out on the golf course yesterday. Myself and John Parrott took on the 1985 champion, Dennis Taylor, and the 7-time champion, Stephen Hendry. And Stephen Hendry, even though he had 41 points and an eagle and 2 birdies, Dennis Taylor, 35 points. JP and myself still beat them 5-4. How do you like those apples? I said to them after coming off the 18. And an extra little fiver and a golf ball in the bag. So that was quite nice,
Well, brilliant. Good stuff. And we do appreciate what you've been doing on the Betfred World Snooker Championship. Just a quick word about the crowd. Obviously, we don't know the finalists as we record this now, but it's a huge boost to the 2 finalists to have a crowd of about 300, isn't it, to watch the whole final. And when whoever lifts the trophy on Sunday night will be cheered on by a crowd. A huge difference.
Oh, it makes a massive difference. I mean, we always talk about the crowd at the Crucible and the Crucible roar and also the eerie silence. But to have people in there clapping and shouting and roaring, the oohs and the ahs, that's what we miss at snooker and particularly at the Crucible. So it's great. It's a wonderful boost for everybody concerned, and particularly all the hard work that's gone on behind the scenes. But it's a wonderful boost. It'll be a wonderful boost for the players, no doubt. And it's a wonderful boost for the tournament as well. And there should be a wonderful atmosphere come Sunday night when whoever gets to lift that wonderful trophy.
Because as you know, Ken, you don't fluke this World Championship. It's over 17 days. So, it's great that you're going to lift the trophy with a crowd there. Yeah,
absolutely. And that's what you play the game, to get that buzz, to get that adrenaline rush from the crowd, as well as the chance of lifting that wonderful trophy. It's been, going since 1927, this World Championship. It's been at the Crucible since 1977. And these players would have all grown up with great images and, watching videos and of all the great past champions. They want to be a part of that again. Some of them have already done it. The other 2 lads in the other semi haven't done it yet. So it'll be a wonderful boost for everybody and a great incentive as well for the players to know that there's going to be a crowd at the final.
So coming in, how nicely poised is this semi-final now between Mark Selby and Ronnie O'Sullivan? That was a huge last couple of frames for Ronnie, wasn't it?
Oh, massive. I mean, he looked gone, Mark Selby was completely dominating the session. He'd won 4 of the 6 frames, and even the 2 frames that Ronnie won, he sort of pinched. So for Mark Selby to get out of that session 4-4 and only be 2 ahead, he could have easily been 6 ahead. He's let Ronnie off the hook there slightly, I feel, and these first couple of exchanges tonight will really tell a tale. I think Mark Selby will be under more pressure, even though he's ahead. And if you had said to him at the beginning of the match, you're going to go into the session with a 2-frame gap and a 2-frame lead, he would have bit your hand off. But now, as it's panned out, he'll be absolutely livid with himself that he only has a 2-frame lead going into tonight's session. So he's thrown Ronnie a lifeline. Whether Ronnie can take it or not, he has to up his game, Ronnie. He didn't play well this morning, but somehow managed to hold himself together to win those last 2 frames. And it's beautifully poised, as you said, for this evening's session. I really can't wait, I must say.
Because this is the beauty of the Crucible, isn't it? I mean, look, Ronnie O'Sullivan, a fantastic player, but he looked down and out, didn't he? For about a 20-minute period then.
Yeah, and even longer. He looked, everything was going wrong for him. He wasn't getting the best of luck. But his long game was in all sorts of rag order, and he couldn't put a long ball. He's okay when he gets in amongst them, but, you know, he looked like he was a beaten man at 13-9. And for all the world, Dennis and I in the commentary, we thought, you know, this could be over very early. I mean, if he had got 14-10, 15-9, we might have been looking at a very short session tonight. Now, all of a sudden, you know, the wheels have turned. Those couple of frames have given Ronnie O'Sullivan a lifeline, and there'll be a huge sway of a psychological edge towards Ronnie, even though he's behind. That's the you know, remarkable thing about it. So it's going to be very interesting how Mark Selby, given that he has a lot of time to think and ponder over what could have been, how will he come out tonight, and how will Ronnie come out? Will he come out flying? Will he come out buzzing? Or will the pressure revert back onto him? It's going to be so interesting to find out.
Because we all know Ronnie can rock up tonight and fire in the first 4 frames, can't he?
Absolutely. I mean, he did it against Mark Williams. He was 6-2 down. He came back very strongly against him to beat Mark Williams in the quarterfinals. So, I think it's going to be very interesting. He can come out flying, and Mark Selby will be aware of that. But Mark Selby has played a wonderful game. He's got progressively better as this tournament has gone on, and he's not going to go away. I don't think he's one of those that will lose his bottle by any stretch of the imagination. He's been a wonderful player and a great champion. So it's going to be a great setup, a great finale, and it could go, what we're all hoping for is go right to the wire.
I mean, if you're in Mark Selby's corner right now, I suppose you want to forget about this morning session and look back to yesterday afternoon, don't you? Because you often do have sessions that don't go your way at this Crucible Marathon. Yeah,
exactly. And look, it's a long sort of marathon, this whole tournament, but also this semi-final. So, as I said, if I was in Mark Selby's corner, I'd be saying to him, look, Mark, you're 13-11 up, you're 4 frames from victory. You would have taken this at the beginning of the match. You're dominating play. You're getting chances. You know, your safety's good. His scoring now has come back. It wasn't that good earlier on in this tournament, but his scoring power has got better as it's gone on, Mark Selby. And, you know, that's what I'd be saying to him. Just wait for your chance. And when you get your chance, pounce. Because Ronnie is always going to give you chances.
And if it did get a bit nervy and a bit scrappy tonight as well because of the pressure, that completely suits Mark Selby, doesn't it?
Absolutely. He's going to want to keep it tight early on. Ronnie is going to force the issue. He wants to keep the balls open, put Mark Selby into a position that he's not comfortable with. So Ronnie will try and force the issue. Mark Selby will try and keep it tight and win those scrappy frames, which he wins a big majority of. I think that the first and second frame tonight are going to be massive.
It's the race to 17. Come on then, Ken. Give us a score.
Well, listen, I'm not going to say who's going to win, but what I will say is that I think it's going to go down to the last frame. 17-16, either way for me.
Oh, well, that'll be an absolutely fantastic night. Ken, thanks for joining us. And if you just do us a favour, can you thank all the BBC team, because you are doing a fabulous job covering this wonderful tournament.
Yeah, they're a great team. We miss Hazel and we miss JB. They're not here this year. They're the only ones missing, but we miss them a lot. But the rest of the team have done a great job. I think Jason has done a great job. Seema has done a great job. And, of course, all the other lads, they're all a pleasure to work with. A great team.
And, Ken, I look forward to having a drink with you here in Sheffield next April.
I look forward to that, Mark. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much to the 1997 World Snooker Champion, Ken Doherty.
Betfred, proud sponsor of the World Snooker Championship.